100 the whole way. Like, that was something that was something I was lacking amongst my peers and my own people, and that's why that was something that was so amazing to me, because it was like, tell me, what you did today, at the workshops or whatever. And it was like, and it was like, wow, I accept that. That's so real. And they was really feeling our struggle. They was really understanding. Like when we said, we felt like objects. A lot of times when we were speaking, that was not okay. You felt like an object, but it was like, I understand that. I feel you. And so it was keeping 100 the whole way. We didn't have to, we was kicking it with, like, they was into hip hop and stuff. They knew about rock and stuff. So it was like, you never had, and I never feel like. They was like, yes, they was like some straight up hip hop.
They knew Wiz Khalifa. And they were like 80 something, probably 70 something.
What? They're 70? Oh, that's Wiz Khalifa. I hate when he gets up there and starts that shit.
It's like,
I am not, that's real talk, authentic.
Real talk.
Engaged in life, they didn't have an expiration date. Some folks be like, I ain't about to learn that next phase of stuff.
Exactly, right.
I ain't trying to hear about Wiz Khalifa.
Right.
Yeah, so...
On your iPod player. Let's put you on your iPod player.
It was really a touching thing. It made me feel, welcome and wanted in that space. And I appreciate that, not only just the accommodations, which were great, but we had some really good conversations. And, these people were freedom fighters themselves. They were activists. They marched with, Dr. Martin Luther King and things like that. It really made me feel like, wow, there's other people out here that feel the exact same way I do, and they're much older than me. So that made me really feel like if I tell this to everybody I know when I get back to the hood, well, imagine what it's gonna be like when we get 80. So I was like, that was like a revelation for me. That was something huge. It was like, wow, it blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, if I could get all the people I know to think like that, it would be, so something so unstoppable.
So that was an intergenerational conversation, and we keep struggling to have intergenerational conversations because I think a lot of young people not young in a bad way, young in a good way, King, that might perceive that as being them. Oh, I know.
we know.
But they might perceive them as not being authentic, and that's why I think sometimes it's hard to get young people and elders maybe in the room to have a conversation like you all had, because the elders may feel one way, the youth feel one way, like they're not being authentic, they're not being real, they don't want to but your experience would be so helpful in you saw the value of that, them having that long view, you all gaining from what they said, but them learning from you too.
Right.
So that's just something to think about as we move forward, because that needs to happen here. We don't do enough intergenerational conversations. There's a lot of expiration dates going on.
Last thing I want to ask about this, and we can keep it moving. How much did you all find yourself? Okay, you talked about their orientation with your generation, and that makes it easy to be warm to somebody. Like, damn, they know exactly where I'm at. How much were you challenged to go where they were coming from?
I think, well, it wasn't, an opening thing, because they were very open to me. So seeing how they related to me, how they, accept, what I was going through, I was like, well, what's it like, for you, being, an elder and being fought, having fought for, rights and things like that. And they were telling, horror stories like, we got called nigga lovers and, things like that. And it's like, that mentality, like, stuff like that never shook them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that never took them down. They was like, they was still, for what they was for. And at the end of the day, they got what they wanted, and now they living peacefully. And it was, well, what do you think about, 2013, what's going on now?
Gotcha.
And like their interpretations of things was so deep. And I was like, I got the deepest interpretation because I live it every day. And they're like, well, we got even deeper interpretation just from watching. And it's like, that's how powerful the elders are. That's when I was like, wow. Like, I knew they was powerful, of course, because they had that kind of knowledge. But, yeah, Romaine, but,
said. But to also elaborate on that, what I also picked about black people, what black people do is we're like, if you're not with the black movement, then do what you do. A lot of black people do that. We're like, if you're in the black movement, you're in the black movement. But if you're not, whatever you do, I hope or whatever. Keep it moving. And it wasn't like that. With them, it was like bring it together because they're both like it was unique. Because when I spoke to the wife more, and when she spoke like she appreciated black people. And I was like, wondering like, why she didn't get married to a black man. I was wondering that in my mind. But I kid you not, she
believed in purity.
But it was.
Because she would believe in purity. Oh my God.
But it was like, but the reason why I bring that up, I brought that up because it was like, she was like, like we're all. She just overemphasized that we're together. It's like I always say something like, for me, I ain't gonna lie, I'm hypocritical. I admit that to my life. I admit that. Because what I always say is, everyone in the world is black. Then say something like, I only marry a black woman. Like, what do you mean? Black skinned woman. They were like, oh, contradiction. So, she showed me that, like, doesn't matter your skin. That's not black. We're conditioned to think your skin is black. But black is more than that. It's your soul. And you can't take black out of soul. That's just not even like, it's not physically, mentally. There's no way this illusion can take the soul in that way. So we'll see. Has something to say. We have to move on. We got 5 minutes, but if you stay after.
Wow. That's deep. That's deep. Man, I know that there was. Well, we're wrapping.
I'll do the last one.
Do that.
Oh, you want to go
Skip it. Yeah.
You want to skip movement building?